Hello to all my friends out there. This video is 20 things to buy that are really going to grow your prep without spending a lot of money, and your most successful preppers are the ones that live it. If you buy one of these kits for several $100s and throw it in the closet and think you're prepared, you might be in for a big surprise. It is much better to prep as a way of life. On the one side, we had ranchers. They survived from herd to herd. You know, you sold your herd, you bought food until the next herd came along, and you survived on what you bought. And the other side was farmers, and they lived from crop to crop. So there's no such thing as prepping. There was food storage, there was provisions, but this is a little bit current because people are urbanized now. But the premises is all the same. You buy food that you eat all the time, you're going to be safer. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I bought, so what I did is I tried to get the stuff on sale, the biggest packages I could. And the first thing I bought was this corn flour, and that is what I made the tamales with. Okay, if there was some kind of food shortage, I would up the bags to 10 pounds to 20 pounds, but this is literally going to make a lot of tamales. And then you have cornmeal. Now this is exciting. So with the corn flour and cornmeal, you can make cornbread, you can make corn pancakes. I've made those. You can make tamales very easily. And I got a new one, oaky pone bread. And so it's avoid, I found a video. She just came out, you guys. Go over to her channel, subscribe, give her some hearts, give her some love. Avoid food shortages, make oaky pone bread, Angie said. And what it is hot water cornbread. So you have 2 cups boiling waters, but go watch her make it. That's going to help you more than anything. These prepper channels really help, especially when the recipes comes down through the generations. So 2 cups boiling water, 1 cup cornmeal, 1/4 cup flour, 1 teaspoon sugar, and 1 teaspoon salt. That's all you need. So you boil the water, you mix all the dry ingredients, and then you carefully pour the boiling water into your cornmeal, because just like the tamales, the hot liquid is going to cook your corn. And then you fry those in oil. So you always have cornbread, easy cornbread. What if you don't have any buttermilk? What if you don't have any eggs? What if you don't have any Jiffy Mix? Well, that's why you're going to stockpile. So if a famine or a shortage comes, you would buy 10-pound, 25-pound bags. All right, go to this channel. It's a new channel. She's already got another video out. I'm going to be watching it as soon as I can. Also with the oaky pone bread, you could make corn dogs. You know, if you put a hot dog, how I make them is I cook the hot dog first. And also, you could add corn and green chili to your oaky pone bread. Okay, so number 1 is corn flour for tamales and cornbread stuff. Number 2 is grits. So on both these items, I bought this big bag. This is 4 pounds. And this is 2 pounds, 4 ounces. But the thing about both of these is you can buy them at Dollar Tree until you get more money. Okay, so now, the grits are easy to make. Here's my grits. And I got a really good recipe. And then I bought ham, you know, steaks, little ones, and an egg. Now this is a decent meal, you guys. And what I did is I went to 99-cent only, and for $2.99 they had these little ham steaks with a bone and with the fat, which is great. And so what I did is I cut the bone off and the fat off, and this will harden up, and I will save that, and then I'll freeze it. And if you have beans, a can of beans, you're going to be so much better off. So now let's taste this. Okay, so now the recipe says all you add is pepper. You don't add salt. I'd say it would be to your taste, try it and see. So these grits and the corn flour is really going to make a lot of food. One thing we want to avoid is food ooh, this looks good, look. See, there's some butter in there. Let me taste this. This is Southern. That's good. I don't see why babies couldn't eat that. I mean, what could be worse than babies with no food? And this ham is good. 6 ham steaks for $3.99. I'll take it. I love ham. I'll be right back. I had to flip the air on, or I would have been totally miserable for the next 10 minutes or so. Here is the chamomile tea. Okay, 2 is grits. 3 is pancake mix. Okay, I bought this stuff at Grocery Outlet marked down. So here's the first 3. So what I do, I bought these at Grocery Outlet. Let's see, this one expires May 28th, 21. So they were about to expire. That's why I got them so cheap. After I open the package, I put it in a baggie and I slip it into my freezer. Okay, this also, Walmart has a pretty good, not this cheap, I think it was 99 cents, 19 servings of 3 or 4 pancakes for $1. And so for this you need oil, egg, and milk. We'll get into that in a minute. So the first 3 is corn flour, grits, and pancake mix. With pancakes, eggs, ham, or bacon. Okay, then bread, 50% off. So, well, Rhoda, that's not a prep. Just buy the bread for 50 cents, 50% off, or marked down. Throw it in your freezer, and then if you should need it, I'm going somewhere with the bread thing. Look at these 2 toys I found curbside. The baby will like it. I have to disinfect them, but I shop at thrift stores all day. So I got those free. Okay, if I was going to sell those at a swap meet, I'd sell them for $1 each because I got them free. So with the bread, I could make sandwiches. You've seen me do that, and French toast. 4 is bread. 5 is oatmeal. Now they keep predicting that the price of oats will go up. And I think that'd be really bad. And so on the same thing, I had cream of wheat. Now the thing about this is it makes a lot of food. You could eat your cream of wheat just like your grits. Pretty much you could put butter on them if you didn't have milk, and oatmeal too. Now I almost forgot to give you the grits recipe. Okay, here's one of the cookbooks I bought for a couple dollars. The difference between grits and cornmeal, not much. Which means the difference between cooked grits, cooked ground hominy, a form of dried corn, and polenta, cooked ground corn, is not much either. But grits are southern and served at breakfast with butter, whereas polenta is Italian and served at dinner with butter and sauce, or at least cheese. A lot of people put cheese in their grits too. Why add cheese when it's fine without? 2 cups water, 1/2 cup quick cooking grits, finely ground pepper, it doesn't say salt, and 1 tablespoon butter. So that little portion there was a 1/4 cup grits. So, you know, grits are cheap as dirt. Okay. Bread. Number 6 is pasta. Any kind of pasta. The thing is, like when I first started, you know, investigating prepping and food storage, they always said pasta, pasta, and I thought, why? Well, the thing is it's good almost indefinitely. But what I do is I try to find these sealed packages. All of this stuff will attract moths if the condition is right. So we have bread, oatmeal, and pasta. Like the tuna casserole is better with noodles. Beef stroganoff is better with noodles. Okay, number 7, corn husks. So you go, why should I worry about corn husks? I bought 2 because they didn't have very many, and these are about $9 now. So if you had some kind of leftover pork or leftover beef, you would go straight to your corn husks and your corn flour, and you would use up the rest and make some nice tamales. All you need is red chili sauce, and you can see the video that I made. Okay, now I got a good one, you guys. I got a really good one. I'm very proud of myself for this. In fact, I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. It is frozen peanut butter sandwiches. This is my, what are these called? Uncrustables. But the thing about these is, it's so good, is when they start thawing and the jam and the peanut butter is still frozen, they're so good. And they're cheap too. So what I'm going to do is I am going to buy a loaf of bread and make the whole loaf into peanut butter and jam sandwiches. That's 11 meals. Today I got home, I decided, you know, I don't like the idea about this. It's like when I used to eat in the middle of the night. That is totally uncalled for. Just wait until you get home and eat. The bad habits is what packs on the pounds. Frozen peanut butter and jam sandwich. So you might think that's stupid. It's really not. Well, what if there's no refrigeration? Well, then the peanut butter sandwiches won't be frozen. Okay, number 9, canned fish. I did a video, the most commonly stolen food was seafood. And so when I found shrimp cheap and bags of fish cheap, I bought some. I gave those to my son. You have to have some fish and some nuts. Well, if you have peanut butter sandwiches, you have enough nuts. You're not going to get deficiency. And if you have some canned fish, they used to say liver and fish once a week, but now they backed off liver. But, okay, so the ones I get are tuna. You saw those packages of tuna make a nice little tuna casserole. Salmon, clams, oysters, sardines. So I brought a couple of them out. They're less than $1 if you buy them at Walmart. Jan from New York City did pasta meals, clam linguine, and evidently Progresso has red or white clam sauce, which I couldn't find today. Oysters. I make really good oyster stew. I make it just like potato soup, and then I add the oysters with the contents, the whole can, and it makes a good oyster stew. And sardines, I eat those on crackers with mustard. And a real luxury is good crackers. And I found really good crackers at Grocery Outlet. So we have corn husks, frozen peanut butter and jam sandwiches, and canned fish. Okay, now the next one was what started the tamale making was somebody left these vegetables curbside in the basket I showed you. And it was corn, 11 cans, and then it was 4 cans of peas. And so the tuna casserole, generally you could add peas. Also though, I have done a video on pea soup that is really good. That'll save you. And if you had some of those oaky corn pones, that would really do the trick. So for the canned vegetables, because the 3 things the people I've known who ran out of food were bread, fruit, and vegetables. So corn, green beans, tomatoes, and I stockpile these because you can use these like salsa. Those potato taquitos were really good with that for salsa. And peas. Those are the first ones I would go to, and then I would add others. Mixed vegetables is really good too. Peas and carrots are really good for stir fry, fresh with frozen peas. Okay, number 11 is beef and chicken bouillon. Okay, if you have these to use in your tamale making, it's really going to help. At Walmart, they sell beef broth for 50 cents. So let me give you a shot of the whole page so you can take a screenshot if you wish. These food lists would be different for everyone, but these items have come down through the generations and people have been able to survive on this stuff. All right. The next thing I stockpile, I don't make them, but you could if you have the corn flour, is I stockpile frozen tortillas, corn and flour. So what I could do, and I might do tomorrow, if I cook my pork roast, I can make a tasty, with my flour tortilla, a tasty pork burrito. And what I do is I just wrap my pork in the foil two thicknesses, and I bake 250, and that's going to give you the best pork roast. It takes a long time, but it's good. Okay, tortillas. Okay, number 13, large bottles of vinegar, lemon, and lime juice. For some reason I can't find my lime juice, but I have lemon juice, and I always used to buy these big ones, which I still do, but this is the good stuff. Okay, so you might be thinking, why do you need lemon? Well, lemon is vitamin C, and you can use it to make buttermilk, and you can use the vinegar to make buttermilk. If you have a recipe that needs buttermilk and all you have is powdered milk or evaporated milk. So usually I would put, like, for 1 cup, a teaspoon, and that's going to make a good buttermilk, or a tablespoon. But you're going to find that if you have this stuff, also white vinegar is really good for cleaning. I have the kind that's for cleaning, and you mix 1/2 dish soap and 1/2 vinegar, and then you rub your bathtub down with it, and you let it sit there for about 10 minutes, and it will get your tubs nice and clean. Or like if I wipe my whole kitchen down with that, and then I wiped it off with hot water, my kitchen would be nice and clean. Okay, number 14, box meals and packages. So I recently found these butter and herb Italiano because I realized you could make good tuna casserole with those. And this is lasagna. And then frozen dinners, dented cans, and 50-cent cans. So when you're habitually picking up one or two, you're in very little danger of going hungry. Like, if you could find yourself 15 dented cans, well, let's do it this way. 10 dented cans, which would be soup or vegetables, 10 frozen dinners, and 10 packaged meals. It would be less than $30 for sure. Okay, number 15 is cookbooks. So you might go, that's stupid. Why should anybody stockpile cookbooks? Okay, I think this is 5. Let me give you the tamale dough recipe. Get this recipe, whatever you do, and then you can always make tamales. And what you can do is, if you don't have meat, you can use corn. Let me give you a close-up of the dough. That's how easy it is. So if you have leftover meat, and here is the fruit cocktail cake. Remember, I made the scones, and I have half a can left, so I could make half a batch of this fruit cocktail cake. I'm trying to teach myself cooking. This helps. The trick is, this has so many good recipes in here, you wouldn't believe it. It was never expensive in the first place. And then you saw, this has anything and everything in it. So, and then, you know, there's this one. So between these books, what these are is thousands and thousands of pages of knowledge that are going to help you in all kinds of ways. Even if you don't want to study cooking. All right. So we had tortillas, large bottles of vinegar, lemon juice, and lime, box meals and packages, frozen dinners, dented cans, 50-cent cans, the eggs with toast and pork and beans. That's going to give you several meals. Cookbooks. Okay, the next one is coffee creamer. So you might be going, why should I stockpile coffee creamer? Because you can add this stuff. These are $1 at Walmart. And then what I did is I lurked around, and when they were on sale, I picked up a couple of these. So if you mix these with 1 cup warm water and 1/3 cup coffee creamer, you can use that like milk. Dry fruit and nuts. Okay, the one fruit that I really want to get is raisins, and then probably your best deal is walnuts. But one of the best places for nuts is Grocery Outlet, and you don't have to. I stockpiled up on these. These weren't the cheapest, but I can make a lot of scones. One of the followers asked me for the raisin bread recipe, and I want to give it to her right now. I was searching around myself for a raisin bread recipe for years, and I kept going, this is the recipe, this is the recipe. No, that is not, those are not the recipe. This is the recipe. If you have a little bit of raisins, you can make so many things like raisins in your oatmeal cookies. Oh, what's up here? You might not think you want this recipe, but you do. Make sure you take a screenshot. Shoot. You would think this thing would open right up to it because I made it so many times. And it makes really, really good regular bread too. And it's everything in the stockpile. That alone is worth watching this entire video. 19 is butter, lard, oil, and Crisco. Okay, some of the Crisco is getting about pricey, a little bit pricey, like $6 a can. But I shopped around and the cheapest place is Aldi's, but they don't always have it. And then I bought 4 gallons of corn oil, but the next thing I'll be buying is olive oil. Butter, lard, oil, and Crisco. Number 20, milk, cheese, and eggs. I buy Velveeta cheese, but I wanted to mention this. Okay, Grocery Outlet had these for $1.99, so I bought 2 because this size, that's baby formula. Well, it's like the coffee creamer. You can use it in place of milk, to make gravy, to make macaroni and cheese. Now, let me give you this so you can take a screenshot. So, if you're finding ways to really increase your food and your storage, what you're doing is you're giving yourself the ability to go weeks to months to maybe a year or longer without buying any food. So, if the budget got tight, you would just go get your grits out of the freezer. These are actually good, and they're cheap as dirt. The person who lives the prepping is the one that's going to be able to weather any storm, a recession, a depression, these food chain disruptions, any kind of military conflicts, anything. You can stay in your house when you have food. And all kinds of really rotten stuff is not going to happen to you. Okay, you guys, please, I don't want my followers going hungry. I don't want my followers opening the cupboards with no food. I don't want my followers opening the refrigerator and the freezer with no food. It's really, really not funny. And like everybody I've known that I've tried to help has been a little resistant to certain things, like going to the food bank. I would say it'd be much better to go to the food bank than sit in your house with no food. Go to the churches. Call 211. They don't want to call 211. That's not going to do any good. Well, why don't you call them? They helped me a lot. Within a day or two, I had a house full of food. Welfare. And if you don't have any if you don't have any food, your first resource would be welfare. I heard the states are hoarding food, stockpiling food. Well, why do you think the states are stockpiling food? Because after we all get the vaccination, everything is going to be fine? No, because they're going to need that food. When you go to the store, look around and say to yourself, what do I see? Well, when I see some of the cheapest food in the whole wide world, like corn husks for $10 a bag, imagine if I was on my last, sometimes I do food hauls for $3 to $5, and the corn husks, I have the corn flour, but I don't have $10 for the husks. And trying to find the husks for $1, I'm going to be looking for those. Olives, mushrooms. So, I'm not saying spend more than you can afford. That is a very bad strategy. Another thing is the food storage or the food preps is going to help you pay your bills down. It's also going to help you stay healthy when you have proper nutrition. A lot of this health problems in older adults is nothing but malnutrition. So I'd rather eat a little bowl of grits and an egg for breakfast, or a little bowl of oatmeal with some baby formula milk, or a sandwich and tea, or some cheap ham. When I make the ham in the beans, it's going to be good. Oh, I want to mention about canned beans. There's a bit of a trick. You don't just put your canned beans in the can and your ham and heat it for 2 minutes and eat it. No, you put your ham and your beans, your can of beans, and some green onions and maybe some carrots, maybe whatever you have, and you cook it down for a couple hours on low. And you add water little by little, you know, to stir it, and you're going to have good beans. And then you make, you guys got to follow this woman. Here it is. Get this woman. Get her now. Give her some support and give her some love, because she's only got like 100. I remember when I first started and I got 100 subscribers, and I went, oh my God. And I said to my son, 26 people watch my videos. I can't believe it. That's so many people. I was hoping for 1 or 2. And she's a prepper, so she's really going to help you guys out. And get that recipe. Go watch her make that, because when she makes it, you will understand. Okay, you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and God bless you all.